But let's turn to our first guest, whom I know has to leave us this morning too, Helen Morton, serving her second term as the Upper House member of the East Metropolitan Region, first elected as the East Metro member in 2005, and then after 5 years of long, hard work, and nobody knows, unless you're a Polly, that they actually do work very long, very hard hours. She was appointed the Minister for Mental Health and Disability Services in 2010. Will you please make her very, very welcome? Could I just remind you too about phones? I'm sure you're an incredibly intelligent group, but just in case, if you could put your phones to silent, that would be helpful.
Thanks very much, Verity. Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you very much to everybody for the opportunity to be a part of this very important event. Could I please also pay my respects to the Noongar elders, both past and present, on whose land we stand today. I'd like to also acknowledge the Honourable Chief Justice Wayne Martin, Chief Justice of Western Australia, the Honourable Stephen Dawson, MLC, the Honourable Lynn McLaren, MLC, Simone McGurk, MLA, Dave Kelly, MLA, and Dr. Jim O'Connell, President of the Boston Healthcare for the Homeless program. It's my pleasure to add my welcome to all delegates to the Homelessness We Can't Afford to Ignore It conference as part of Homeless Persons Week 2014. We have here today around about 120 representatives from the homelessness services sector and government agencies. With today's conference providing an opportunity to discuss developments in policy and funding, as well as future direction, we are in the best company. Everyone sitting here knows homelessness is a complex and critical issue affecting too many people in our state. Homeless Persons Week, during the cold midwinter, is a reminder to all Australians of the plight of our nation's homeless people. Access to safe and secure housing is one of the most basic of human rights. Evidence tells us time and again of the importance of safe, secure, affordable housing, not only for the mental and physical well-being, but also the economic well-being of Western Australian households and communities. This makes your work, supporting and providing homeless people, all that much more important. You all already know that favourable living conditions, resources sector jobs and its impact on the WA economy has resulted in rapid growth in our state's population, with an increase of 71,000 new people in our state in 2013, representing a population growth of nearly 3%, significantly higher than the rest of Australia. The knock-on effect has been significant demand for housing, pushing up prices and placing pressure on low to moderate income households. This increasing demand for housing has also seen growing numbers of people seeking assistance from homelessness service providers. I'm here today to tell you that this government is committed to tackling this issue and agrees with the theme of this year's conference: we can't afford to ignore it. The state government initiatives to respond to homelessness in Western Australia have had a significant impact on the lives of people experiencing homelessness and those at risk of homelessness. In 2012-13, the Australian Institute of Health and Welfare reported that more than 21,000 Australians, Western Australians, have accessed specialist homelessness services. Accommodation was provided for 74% of the people who were homeless or at risk of homelessness, and 87% of people requiring support to maintain their housing tenure were assisted. These are significant successes. Assisting people to remain housed or helping them to access housing creates stability in their lives. It also minimises the social disadvantage and the negative physical and mental health impacts of repeated or prolonged periods of homelessness. I'm not in any way trying to say that we've provided solutions to every situation, every issue, or that every problem has been resolved. While there is still much, much further to go, these results show that we are at least heading in the right direction. Through the state government's Affordable Housing Strategy 2010 to 2020, opening doors to affordable housing, the Department of Housing is firmly focused on helping Western Australians progress towards owning their own home. I'm pleased to say that this is ahead of target, already delivering more than 15,000 of the 20,000 affordable housing opportunities this strategy aims to provide by 2020. As part of this strategy, the Department of Housing plays a pivotal role in connecting stakeholders and partners from the private, the not-for-profit sectors, local government authorities and other state government agencies to deliver at least 20,000 more affordable homes by 2020 for low to moderate income earners. In Western Australia, the Department for Child Protection and Family Support is the lead agency responsible for the coordination and implementation of joint Commonwealth and state funding through the National Affordable Housing Agreement and the National Partnership Agreement on Homelessness. In 2014-15, approximately $75 million of state and Commonwealth funding will be provided through both agreements for accommodation and support services provided by the not-for-profit community sector. While the NAHA is an ongoing agreement, the initial 2009-13 NAPA expired in June last year. I'm well aware that many organisations, services, staff and clients have endured high levels of anxiety and disruption over the past 2 years. 1 year of funding was allocated in the May 2014 federal budget with $14.97 million for Western Australia, and this state government will match the Commonwealth Government's contribution. Evaluations of the NAPA have highlighted the success and effectiveness of the programs across our state, generating positive outcomes for people accessing those services, including a restoration of dignity, self-respect, confidence and independence. It is essential that more long-term funding arrangements can be agreed, allowing sustainable planning in the sector to continue to achieve these great outcomes. And that's why, on behalf of approximately 110 full-time employees that the NAPA funds employ, I will continue to lobby Minister Andrews on the continuity of NAPA programs into the future. On the 1st of May this year, the Commonwealth Government released the Towards Responsible Government, the report of the National Commission of Audit, March 2014. The report contained a number of recommendations relating to housing and homelessness. On the 28th of June this year, the Prime Minister announced the terms of reference for the development of a white paper on the reform of the Australian Federation, including housing and homelessness, as one of 3 priority focus areas. The issues paper, including the paper on housing and homelessness, will be released in the second half of this year. The Western Australian State Government has recommended that future funding arrangements regarding housing and homelessness post-June 2015